Hey everybody, tonight we're going to take a look at Empyrion Galactic Survival. More so, the Steam Workshop project I've been working on for this game. Gonna kind of do a walkthrough of it. So, let's go. So this thing is massive, a massive structure. I called it the Black Pyramid. And for the workshop, to be able to publish this on a workshop, I had to really strip it down. There's a lot of blocks it considers forbidden blocks that can't be published to the workshop. So this is kind of a boring version, the stripped down version. So when you first start, these are the doors you'd be coming in. And I'll be showing the non-stripped down version later after this one. I wanted to make sure there's enough content to really make this this structure take a while to get through. So I added quite a bit of different sensors and switches to kind of block the player's access to certain areas until they do something specific. For example, to get through this door, you have to hit the levers in sectors A, B, and C, and D to unlock this door. So obviously A, B, C, and D. Of course, if this is originally designed as a POI, a place of interest, and there on the full version there's normally turrets and enemies throughout the structure to, you know, try and kill you pretty much. But with this door, I mean, when you're using it as a POI, you can of course just blow the door open and skip all the switches you have to get, but it kind of takes the fun out of it. So this is the garden area. Normally there'd be crops here, but I had to remove all those too. Those are considered forbidden blocks. Food processors, fridges. Here is one of the switches. Lever A for sector A. And then here is, we go into the menagerie, or the zoo I also call it. The people of the Black Pyramid have gone through the planet and collected their own little zoo of creatures they found. So this one is actually locked down, so we need a passcode. And since we're in creative mode, we don't need to punch in those passcodes. Everything is open to us. So the storage area. Normally, in the full POI, this has creatures in it, spawn nodes that would spawn creatures in them. There's a first floor and a second floor. So got all these full of them. There's switch B, or lever B. So let's go to the hangar first. This is a huge area. Normally in also the POI full version, this would be, there'd be small vessels sitting here, one that's being repaired sitting here, one that's being built under here, but again those are considered forbidden blocks, so I had to remove all those too. So we can go up here. Here is lever D. And also in the full POI, this is one of the hardest areas to get through because of the amount of enemies, turrets on the ceilings. Which, if we get to a walkthrough of, if we get to actually play through the POI, the full POI, I kind of go over the ways to get through the harder areas. So, is there a sign out here? Nope. This is the technician's lab. Which they have kind of everything in here. You know, if you imagine technicians just kind of building, making things. You got the constructors, deconstructors, furnace, the medic stations, armor, armor locker, and different things. You know, if they gotta fix things, they come over here to repairing items that are broken. And then up here, we kind of, it's like a break room area. And restrooms in here. Throughout the full POI, with the enemies and turrets and whatnot, restrooms are kind of dedicated as safe zones where the enemies can't go into them, so you can kind of regroup, heal, whatever else. So here's the technician's lab. In here would be the cargo bays, with obviously cargo in them. Tons of pallets, tons of cargo boxes. And there's going to be an upstairs to it. So we'll go up here, and this is kind of like the rare artifacts area. And lever C. Run down here. We got the environmental support. Provides the oxygen for the place, for the whole place, the water for the whole structure. Little lounge area. Takes you to each separate place: cargo bay, technician's lab, and back to the lobby. And we'll find out what that door is later. So now that we hit all 4 levers, this door is now open. We can go through here. And gave us a med station to use. And this is where the fun really starts. Making our way up the pyramid. So we have deck 3 and 4, which is engineering. It's basically 3 and 4 like one giant combined deck. Deck 5, Crew's Quarters and Mess Hall. Deck 6, Medical. 7 is Officers' Lounge and Briefing Room. Deck 8 is Bridge and Navigation. Go up our fancy elevator. Okay, now this sign says Deck 5. See, beings we're on Deck 3 right now, and 4 is technically up there, even though Deck 3 and 4 are basically one giant deck. There's two floors to engineering. There, I'm gonna turn on God mode so I can fly around. So you got two levels to engineering. Considered deck. This would be considered Deck 4, of course. Deck 3 down there, but both combined, pretty much. We go back in here. So this says Deck 5, Crew's Quarters. Lockdown is in effect. Manual release on Deck 4, Engineering. So if you were playing the full POI, this door up here would be locked because it's on lockdown. You have to find the lever in Deck 4 to proceed. Now, again, you could always blast the door down and say screw the switch, but that takes a lot of the fun away. This place is also absolutely huge. And also due to the amount of enemies, moving parts, like all these screens, you know, like the gravity generator moving. It can, especially if you activate the enemies, you get into their area and they're activated and they start roaming. This place can really cause a lot of lag just because of the amount of stuff that's rendering at the time. So we got reactors, various different electrical, whatever the hell else you want to call it. And all throughout the POI, there's little hidden areas you can get to. Like all the way back here, there'd be a loot crate sitting here, or a loot container in here. But you know, in this version, loot container is considered a forbidden block, so I had to strip all of those out of here too. So this is the engineering is a lot of fun because of all the enemies that kind of roam around here. There's a lot of, you know, duck and cover, hiding behind stuff, popping out, shooting down the enemies, that kind of stuff. So I find engineering a lot of fun, even though it can be incredibly hard. And let's see, go back out the door quick. Now this is our interdimensional teleporter. The Black Pyramid doesn't actually travel, it teleports. So even though it's a massive structure, the whole thing can be moved. And I had the teleporters, the interdimensional teleporters, right here. But they are also considered forbidden blocks, so I had to remove those. So it just looks like a goofy, empty area. Hey, your radioactive fuel to power those teleporters. Go back out. Got your gravity generators. So if you only use this version to create your own base, this stripped down version, you can create your own base out of it, or you can create your own POI. You don't have to go with my version. So we run over here. You know, there's a lot of places, like I was saying earlier, for instance, in the reactors. If you come into the reactors, these are also safe zones. The enemies can't come into here, so it gives you a chance to kind of catch your breath and run out and do it again. Otherwise, you have one bathroom back here, which also will act as a safe zone. Now, some restrooms actually do have a enemy spawner in them, but they're going to be static, where once you kill the one or two of them, two enemies, that's all it generates. So we'll go up to deck 4. And here we go, we got more things. I did have a sweet portal right here, which the Black Pyramid uses to transport supplies instantly, but had to remove that also. Got more gravity generators. Got the offline protection if you're playing on a server. Land claim device. So if you're using it as a POI on a PvP server, you don't have to worry about getting slaughtered while you're trying to run through this. Let's see. Some stairs up. And then up here there's a walkway that takes you all the way to the other top of the other reactor, and then it also gives you a nice viewpoint of everything in engineering. So we'll run back here. Here is the Deck 5 access lever. So now that door that was previously closed is now open. Just another area. Got some showers. A good majority of everything in here is unlocked, so it's free for the players to use, like showers, benches, medic stations, that kind of stuff. Most of it's unlocked. Now we can actually just jump down. Alright, where's the dang stairs? Here we go. So if we were playing the full version, this now unlocked, so we can make our way up to the 5th deck, which is the mess hall and cruise quarters. Little sitting area, watch some TV, more restrooms, safe areas, of course, restroom. We got sanitation, food prep, so more food processors. Got a freezer, fridge full of goodies to be looted. Like all the those pallets there. All the tables will be usable. Everything pretty much is unlocked. Because it's a big place, and depending on your gear setup, it can be very difficult to get through. So I didn't want to completely just destroy anyone who was playing it. I wanted to make it somewhat fair. Yeah, it's getting dark, so turn some lights on. And here's kind of the cruise quarters in here. Oh, let me go run back. I don't think I have a sign Or is it up here? Yeah, there it is. So this says deck 6 is in lockdown, and you can find the manual release on deck 5. And this one, oh, go back. And this one says specifically it's in the crew's quarters. So these are just all sorts of dorm rooms, pretty much. Running through here. We come to the director and assistant director's room, and here's the deck 6 access. And you can do some more exploring. You can come down this way. These are like the main restroom, shower areas for the entire crew. And then if you come over here, just the same thing. Another one. That annoying noise is this. Which doesn't look like anything really right now, but once we get to the actual full version, it'll make more sense of what's going on with that. So now deck 6 is open. And we come up, and deck 6 medical. And if we try and go to deck 7, this also will be locked. We gotta find the lever, of course, which is says specifically medical supplies. So we just gotta find the medical supplies. Now up here in medical, it's really nice because these medic stations are all unlocked. Cryogenic room. Imaging station. Decontamination room. And if we go in here, we have quarantine zone. Some labs, secondary examination room. Run down here, we have medical director's area, primary examination room, medical emergency power, of course, in case the main generators go down. Medical still has their power. Recovery, and equipment and supplies. And here we go. Deck 7 access. So we run through here. And deck 7 is now open. And deck 8. Deck 8, the bridge. It's on lockdown. Manual release in deck 7 weapons. Bridge lounge. Briefing room. Lounge, bathroom. Another fun thing about this structure is if you're playing through the full version, all these areas, because it's pyramid, all these decks are getting smaller and smaller, so it really starts confining you. So it can be fun depending on how you look at it, but you know, when you got a bunch of enemies coming down on top of you in a more confined area, it can get a little difficult. So we just found weapons storage and the deck 8 access lever, another restroom. And if you've noticed by now, each room has its own separate motion sensors for the lights, and that also helps on the rendering and keeping the lag low. Because if you were to have the whole pyramid's lights on all at one time, that's a lot of lights to have on. Now let's see how many lights. 532 lights in the pyramid, so that's a lot of lights for the system to have to render all at the same time. So now we can head up to the bridge. Got a little area hanging out. Deck 8, the bridge. And also, this deck 8's kind of got a two-tiered area. This area for various navigation systems and whatnot. They can look out. Get up there. Out there, kind of, you know, out the west side of the pyramid. You know, that guy can check out the south side, the east side. And the north side really doesn't have anything. It's got the stairs in it. So we can head back up here to the main bridge. This one looks out. It's got a 360 view of everything. And yeah, there's a second pyramid over there. That's the full version over there. We'll go hit that next. So if we come up here through the top of the bridge, we got the top of the pyramid, which is enormous. So that is the workshop version, the version that I was able to publish. Let's see, go here. So if you come onto the Steam Workshop for Empyrion, you'll be able to search and find my structure, the Black Pyramid. All you gotta do is hit subscribe, and then it'll download it right to. You might have to restart your game, but it'll automatically throw it into your blueprints. Like I've downloaded some other people's. These here, you just go hit subscribe, and then it loads them in here, and you can, if you're in creative mode, you can just spawn them outright. There's a bunch of little more information about the pyramid, and by subscribing, you'll get the stripped down version. I do have the full version available for download to download the actual file, and we'll go get into that later too on how to do that. So that is the stripped down version. So let's head over to the full version. Now the full version comes with turrets down in the hangar, front of the hangar bays. Up at the top, there's the large turrets. So here is the front of the full version. Basically identical. The only difference is it's got a lot more stuff in it. All the forbidden blocks are here. So as soon as you start, you're greeted with some turrets staring you right in the face. Come down here. Hostile intruder alert. Turrets online. The pyramid is going to do what it has to do to preserve itself. So now we've got active turrets everywhere in here. Same thing applies. We have to hit the 4 release levers in the 4 different sectors to get through it. So we'll hit up the garden. Same thing, but this time there's turrets. Now in here we've got the loot containers. Because it's the full version, we get the loot containers and now the enemy spawners. So you come in here. Once you get to, you know, their area, interactive area, they'll spawn. Same here, same here. You gotta come in here, release lever A. And also the crops are here, so now you can harvest crops for whatever you want to use them for. And also here, you got more crops. You can harvest those. Come in here. And like I said earlier, now these all have the enemy spawners in them. And this area you can easily get overrun. The enemies can easily just take you out because there's so many of them now. Man, you know, 1, 2, 4 of them down here, but if you come in and you try and leave in the actual survival mode, this door locks behind you. So you gotta punch in the number again to get out. A lot of times they can get on top of you and take you out. Then you come up here and it's even more enemies spawning. Turrets, of course. Now you got the nice loot containers. Come up here. You're gonna need a jetpack to get up here, but you can come up here. Oh, you know what? I forgot about something in the another loot container to show you in the stripped down version. So you can come up here, grab that loot container. I'll just go through the floor. Got all these enemies. We flip the lever down here, so that release lever is open. Come over here. We can leave. Can hit up the hangar. Now this is where it gets fun and very difficult. There are large turrets, small turrets, now, and enemy spawners in here. A whole lot of them. And you can, as you can see, the small vessels are back, so adds a little more atmosphere to this area. Actually shows that it's a hangar. Here's the one getting repaired. Here's the one getting put together. It's got to slide that cockpit in there. You know, of course, there's loot containers all over if you can make it back there. Red and purple over here. So even though the lever is close to where you come out, it's really rewarding if you can, you know, explore into the back area. So I mean, you come out there, you could just come up here right away and flip the lever if you wanted to, and then leave. But you get a lot more goodies if you explore into the back. And there's this door, which I forgot to show what the hell that even was on the stripped down version. Get in there. So, you know, more giant turrets. That's what makes the hangar one of the hardest places. I don't know if I mentioned it, but the next hardest is definitely engineering. I bet that I'd say that engineering is the hardest deck to get through. So, technician's lab. We've got enemies, turrets. Got the plasma incinerator now. Of course, look around. There's always goodies hidden somewhere. Same with up there. You know, there's turrets. Loot container up there. Same here. Turrets, enemies. Coming up here. You guessed it. turrets up here. Hit that lever. More enemies, more turrets. They'll fall through the floor. That takes us to the lounge area. Enemies and turrets. Now these lockers also weren't in the stripped down version because they're considered forbidden blocks. Majority of those are also unlocked, so a lot of times you can get some good armor out of there. And here we got a purple loot container. Go into here. And now I'll show you. A lot of times, a lot of the loot containers are hidden. So the only way you'd be able to find that one is to blow apart the O2 tank, the oxygen tank, and then you can come back here, go around all that, and there's a hidden loot container. And that happens quite a bit in this structure. I wasn't just going to put them out in the open. Going through the lobby, or the little lounge area to the lobby. And there we go. Now this is unlocked, we can head up. Use your conveniently placed medic station. And we're heading up. And we're greeted with a turret pointing down at us. What I found fun about this is you cannot aim at that. You cannot hit that. So the only thing you can do is move quickly up the elevator, get out of its way, and then blast it apart. So, again, that door is locked till we get the unlock the lever, or hit the lever. Come in here and our interdimensional teleporter is back. Got some goodies. I mean, they're everywhere. Loot containers are everywhere. I think there's, what, 75 total loot containers. That's just loot containers. Not counting pallets, lockers. So the hardest part about engineering is there's so many turrets, so many enemies. A lot of times you stick your neck out and someone starts shooting you. You have no clue where it's coming from, just because this place is so damn massive. And like I said, there are loot containers everywhere. They're in there. If you come, whoop, other side. Come through here. There's loot containers hidden. So pretty much the same thing. If you can explore through engineering, massive experience, ton of loot, and don't forget your safe zones in here. But like here, it's got an enemy in here, enemy spawner in here, but it's not a big deal because the restroom ones are static and only will spawn one enemy. So once you kill it, you're free to hang out there as much as you want. Okay, this is the part I forgot to show in the stripped down version. This is up to the ventilation access. So we're going to head up here, up these stairs. And if you read the description in the Steam Workshop, I mentioned that sometimes rocket launchers or plasma cannons are necessary, but take it easy. That's because of this. If you go crazy with those rocket launchers, you end up blowing up these stairs, you can't gain access up here. There's no way of getting up here without that. Without these stairs. Get up there. Or obviously a jetpack of some sort. So God mode it is. So you come up here. Here's the ventilation area. And it is a large maze. But if you pay attention to the colors of the section you're walking into, you really shouldn't have a problem. Like now I'm in the yellow section. Of course, there's going to be enemies up here. There's the white section here. You can head down here. And goes to the pale yellow section or the pink section, all depending on where you want to go. And the fun part about ventilation system is the trapdoors. And then you have to go all the way back up there, up to where you fell. A lot of times the fall will kill you, if not almost kill you. It'll definitely break your legs. So yeah, those are hidden all over the place too. But if you can get through the ventilation system, it's definitely worth it, because there's a ton of loot up here. Oh, let's go out this way. So we finished that area. Let's say come back here. Now we have like a minty green area that leads to brown area and a darker green area. You can also do, you know, however you want to do it. Just pay attention. Brown area, purple area, I guess purple blue area. And also in here, you're going to need a jetpack to get a lot of the harder to reach loot. But you're going to have that anyways, because I do not recommend coming into the Black Pyramid without some sort of armor. Even light armor, you're going to get ripped apart. So, some loot. Come back here. We got a red area. You know, so on and so forth. So that's the ventilation system. That's what I forgot to show in the stripped down version. So let's pretend that we walked up here. Turrets galore, enemies galore, but search everywhere. These loot containers are everywhere. Nice portals back. Up. There we go. Like up here, there's loot containers in there. Like on the other side of that, there's loot containers. Walkway. More loot containers. Big ass turrets up here to try and stop you. Oh yeah. The retractable turrets, once you get a certain distance, they'll come out. So we can head up to deck 5. Oh, turn around. Turn around. Go in here. And here we go, up to deck 5. Again, another turret. You gotta move quickly. Come over here, and Shoot them out of the sky. Now there's enemies up here. And everywhere. So depending on how much loot you want to get, they're going to be in your way. Same with here. Of course, enemies inside the rooms. Enemies here to unlock, to hit that switch. So we come out here, loot container. Now this part, you come down here and you got a couple turrets shooting back at you. So upstairs is, or deck 6 is open. And see, this one we can actually target now, so that one won't be too much trouble. Let's see. Same thing, enemies, turrets, heal if you need it. Oh, and was it deck? What deck is it? 4, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All the enemy spawn plates are now hidden. So you won't be able to see them, and they cannot be destroyed. So if you die, take too long to get back up to where you were, they're going to start respawning on you, which adds another layer of difficulty. So we hit that switch, gonna come around, gonna run upstairs, and 7's open. More turrets. More turrets, enemies, turrets, enemies. This one's got retractable turrets in the ceiling. And like I said, loot boxes everywhere. For example, this one looks like a wall of TVs and whatnot. Well, if you destroy it, there is a loot box behind it, or a loot container behind it. In here, now we got some lockers, loot containers. Run down here, right here. Now deck 8 is open, loot containers, enemies, turrets. And more enemies, but this area, because this is such a confined area and there's turrets and enemies everywhere, it is hard. You can get overrun very quickly, especially if your armor and weapons are not that great. Most likely you're gonna die and never really make it through this area. So there you go, back up to the bridge. That is the full version. The bridge security does not play nicely, that's for sure. Oh yeah, all those things are back in the full version. There's the stripped down version. Here's the giant turrets that sit outside. Now, even though this thing is I mean, this pertains to the full version. If you decide to play my version of the POI, even though this place is huge, it's got these turrets all over. It's really not designed to be cracked open by a vessel. These aren't really that great of defense, because you're going to be able to take those out with a, you know, half decent vessel before they're going to take you out. So there really isn't a whole lot of defense to the pyramid. Also, the structural integrity is actually quite weak. So if you were to shoot too much on the side of it, you're going to end up losing a good portion of it. So it's really designed more for boots on the ground, going inside, exploring, not so much as attacking it with a vessel. But you know, you can come when you're going through it. I mean, this would be nice if you were to take the workshop version and turn it into a base, because it's got a nice big hangar, big doors, you know, to fly your vessel, your small vessels in and out, or your hover vessels. It's just, this place is so damn big, it's very expensive to run as a base. Now, if you were to attack it, use it as a POI, my full version POI, and take it out, destroy the core, replace the core with your own, I mean, that's possible. There'd be a lot of modifications you'd have to do to make it into a functioning base, I think. But I mean, still possible. I think the resources, or the resources and materials it would drop after, you know, destroying that core and then basically dismantling this whole place, the resources it would drop would be almost worth it too. Plus, it would take you about an hour just to dismantle this place. Takes a good while. So as you can see, there's every once in a while you can see holes in the ceilings that lead up. For example, there. I thought there was another one somewhere. Oh yeah, down here. In here. Well, yeah, you guys saw that one up there. Or let's go to the lab. Whoops, too far. Come here. Here's another one. If you happen to fall down that trapdoor, this is your way out here. You'd have to blast through here. And there again, your legs would be broken, so hopefully you have a jetpack. Otherwise, you're not going to make that jump. Unless, of course, you got bandages, which is highly recommended. Anything that can heal you, cure all types of diseases, because these enemies are gonna infect you. Oh, where's some other ones? Yeah, but they're all over. See, all these glass corridors are for the trap doors that are up in the ventilation systems, and they're everywhere. There's one. Here's another one. Some of them will just more of an annoyance, drop you down. You know, well, that one drops you all the way down to the technician's lab. But I think there's one that, oh yeah, this one. It just drops you into engineering again. So you don't have to go fall really far, but it's an annoyance. And majority of the spawners have huge maxed out interactive areas. So they will activate from a good distance away. So a lot of times they roam the pyramid, because all doors, with the exception of restrooms or like the reactors, the safe zones, all doors can be opened by the enemies. So they roam around a lot, which can surprise you when you're not expecting them in certain areas. I wanted to do an actual run through this in survival mode, just to kind of show you how everything works, some ways around things, because it's tough. Even if you die and have to try and get back in from you die, it spawns you out here somewhere and you have to run to get to the door. Or if you blew out the hangar doors after you cleared out the hangar, these guys are going to pick you off, and very fast. So that's a pain in the ass. I wanted to do a run through this tonight, but even the with the good armor and good plasma cannon still took me over 3 hours to finish. With the light armor and tier 1 weapons, I think it still took me over 5 hours to finish. And that was because the deck 7 and 8 were so difficult with that crappy armor and those crappy weapons. I would get overrun, overwhelmed, the enemies would respawn, and I'd have to do the whole deck over again. So let's talk about how, like we talked about, how to get the workshop edition, the stripped down edition into your game. To get the full version, what you'd have to do is download it here, and then go to your Galactic Survival folder on your computer. And you would have to take that file and toss it in prefabs, content prefabs. And here we go. And just throw the EPB file in here. And that will tell the game to load. These are all the preloaded stuff in the blueprints in this here. So, and then you can take also, let's see, where is that at? Saves, blueprints, go into your game save or your saves, throw, make a folder called Black Pyramid Full, throw the EPB and the screenshot in here, and then you can edit it however you want in creative mode. And once you have those, you got to get, once you have it in the content prefabs, you're going to have to tell the game how you want to use it. So you'd come to your playfield static YAML file, which, let's see if we can find that. I don't even remember where the heck it's at. Is it in playfields? Okay, yeah. So each playfield has its own type. You got your arid planets, alien planets, temperate, so on and so forth. So if you just wanted it on a temperate planet, you'd go in here, open up the playfield static YAML file, and put something like this in it. Just all I did was I copied and pasted one of the other POIs. Like this whole section is for POIs that the game creates and throws in there. But let's go back down. Copy and paste now, or copy and paste. Now the group name is going to be, come into your blueprints, pick which one you want to go do, and here is your group name. This has to match the YAML file. So you got MFM, as the group name. So everything that you label as that group is going to follow these parameters. So the faction is alien. That has to also match your structure, which the Black Pyramid's already set to alien. Avoid faction territory. I don't want it to spawn on Xerax or Talon territory, so I put it true. What kind of biomes you want it to spawn in, what kinds you don't want it to spawn in, the biomes you don't want to spawn in. I don't want it to spawn in the start area. Where's that at? Did I miss that part? No, yeah, okay. I don't want it to spawn in the start area. And then regen and how many you want to spawn. All I could figure out was the higher this number is, the more it spawns. So if I put 5 there, it would spawn 3 of them. And this seemed to be the POI near range seems to be pretty common, so I just picked that too. I mean, you can scroll through all these, pick apart different kind of parameters you wanted in, where the game's going to spawn it at. And this has to be syntactically perfect, otherwise it won't be able to read it. So yeah, I think that's it. Download the file, throw it in your prefabs folder. And by doing that, by throwing your prefabs folder and then editing the YAML file, when you start a new survival game, it will automatically generate the Black Pyramid, or that has to do with any blueprint you want to do. So, and then also, let me go back. Because go to playfields, because I threw it in this file, YAML file, in the temperate starter, you have to play that playfield, or else you won't ever see the Black Pyramid spawn. So I mean, you could take the time and throw them all of these, so you always get it to spawn, and this goes for all blueprints also. So we can show an example of it. Leave. Actually, I am going to take a quick break before we get this started, and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. So, we're going to start a new survival game. Going to pick the temperate planet, of course, so we get the Black Pyramid to spawn, the POI to spawn. Oh, I gotta take that thing away. Come on. Since this is going to be a quick demonstration, I'm running out of time. I'm just going to use some cheats to get it moving, show a good, short demonstration. Probably use the debug gun just so I can move through things faster. I'll make another walkthrough using more practical armor and weapons to go through it. The debug gun kills everything, most everything in one hit, so we'll turn on the map. Oops. Give me all the items. Let's see what else. Oh, God mode on if I need it. Let's see, now somewhere we should find the Black Pyramid. Down here. Set a waypoint for it. And since I have God mode on, we can fly over there really quickly. Actually, let's keep moving. Wait for it to render. Oops, too far. So the turrets on top have 0.22 mile range, I think. So right about here, I'm gonna do this. Grab the armor locker. Drop that, and then I'm able to drop the armor locker. Grab some armor. Put that on. Now I won't die so quickly. Throw that in the trash. Gonna grab the debug gun. Kill things a little faster. So I've got God mode on, so these guys won't really do anything. But normally this would be really difficult to get to the pyramid because these guys would pick you off pretty quickly. I can just demonstrate, I suppose. Get a little closer. Whoops. Which reminds me, anyways. Get some of this stuff going. So, demonstration how fast this thing can pick you off. And also how hard it is to get back into the Black Pyramid. That's as fast as I can run. So it's difficult to even get to the Black Pyramid. Turn around. Run. And dead before I get to it again. But in like my Steam Workshop description about the small vessels, you could still use them at this point to you know, destroy the turrets on top, so you don't have to worry about them sniping you. So if you do get to this point and you didn't use a vessel, oops, I don't want these ones, and you do get to a point, I lost my train of thought. Better grab some food. Oh yeah, if you didn't use a small vessel to pick off the turrets on top, I recommend climbing your ass up there and doing it yourself. Then it saves you the trouble of them sniping you on your way back if you die, which most likely will happen. God, this is such a pain in the ass to climb. Get up there. Okay, for demonstration's sakes, I'm just going to do it like this. So there, the turrets sights can't see you when you're climbing the side of the pyramid. Now I'm using the debug gun, which is 10,000 damage. Normal weapon would take you a long damn time to destroy all these things. Even the rocket launchers take a while. There, so you've got this, you got those, you don't have to worry about them picking you off when you're running back to the pyramid. I am going to turn on, let's see, was it this one? Yeah. I'm going to make it daytime so we can see what the hell's going on. And where's the front? By doing so, you can come up and kind of see what's waiting for you. When you come up, you can make it to the bridge. Woohoo! Not sure how that didn't break my legs. Okay, God mode so we can move quicker. Got more turrets if you want to take those out. More turrets if you want to take those out. Okay, here's the front door. Heal up a little bit. Have a little snack. Some schnackums. These little curved stairs are the most irritating things to go up. And the debug gun kills everything. One hit, most everything in one hit. One thing I don't like is how slow these the AI is to react to your presence. But hey, this game's only in alpha, and it's a pretty solid game for being alpha status. So, you know, gotta open up those levers, You can blast through them if you want. You know? But what fun is that? Back here, we got a loot container. You can loot all these cargo boxes for some resources. Oops. And the spawners are, you know, on these decks you can destroy them so they stop spawning enemies. You can now pick all these up. You know, loot all the crops. So you got some enemies showing up. These are pretty passive. They're passive until you attack something, and then you're gonna have them all on your ass. But being as I have the debug gun, doesn't take much to kill them. Destroy their spawn plates so they don't spawn anymore. Release lever A. Oops. Destroyed all my crops. And later when I do the more legit run through with practical weapons and armor, it'll be a lot more fun. So this one, like the sign says, we've got to use a code to get in. Open the door. Those bastards. I hate those bastards. I don't know why that guy can't figure out how to open up a door. Neither can the spiders. So even if I wanted to leave, I still have to enter that code again. That's what makes it tough when you have just the basic weapons, is getting overwhelmed because you can't get through that door fast enough. But even still, the enemies can open that door and come right through. Hit him! Oop, wasn't paying attention. Okay, so we'll go back in there. Try to get up the most obnoxious stairs. Where is that guy? Where the hell is that guy? Oh, he's behind me. So up here, got a loot box. Grab that stuff. Yeah, these guys can't figure out how to open these damn doors. Get the second lever. Now to the hangar. Oopsies. These guys are long range, so makes it a little more difficult. Oh crap, forgot about that. Damn it. Okay, better give him a second. Now that the cyborg saw me, he should be coming through the door soon. There you are. Majority of, well, all of the enemy spawners in here are not static, so they will keep spawning shit. They will keep spawning enemies until you destroy their spawn plates. Now what makes it hard, even more difficult, is now these cyborgs are gonna, now that I've activated them, they're gonna start roaming around. And sometimes it's difficult because they get between me and the supplies I need. You know, the stuff I dropped when I died. See, he just went in there, he saw the door was open. So we can come over here. And I forgot about those damn turrets. Damn it. Once they put a little more work into the AI, this can be very difficult. Get out of the way. Ah! Is that guy? Guess so. Shitty. Run! Crap, that guy's spawned too. I wonder if my armor's already shot. Can I make it? Ooh, good shot. Okay, where did that shot come from? The crap? Oh, man. Well, there you have it. There's the Black Pyramid. The start of it. Like I said, once I get some more time, I'll do a legit walkthrough. Of the full POI. So I guess I'm gonna call it a night. Let's see who we can host. Ah, not that one. Come back here. Let's see who's on. Well, let's go to what's her face. She's running Parasite Eve PS1. So thanks for hanging out, everybody. We will see you next time.